Buddy. Mark?
Dang, this thing is so high. Up.
Okay, if I can have your attention, please. We have our Coors Light pole winner for the 55th running of the Daytona 500. Danica Patrick. She drives the number 10 GoDaddy Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. She's joined by her crew chief, Tony Gibson. Danica, congratulations on just a superior effort out there today. I know the team's worked extremely hard, certainly history in the making. You've also qualified for the 2014 Sprint Unlimited.
Oh, shoot, that's right.
Yes, you have.
It's one more car you got to build.
Yeah, exactly.
But congratulations, and
cool.
Danica.
And then if I win it, I'm in it forever.
There you go.
Yeah,
You're done.
that's right. Danica, what does it mean to be the pole sitter? Know that you're going to be leading the pack a week from today for the most famous race in stock car.
Well, thanks a lot. You just made me feel nervous right there. I'm supposed to be excited and relieved today. I feel like a broken record, and I probably will feel even more so by the end of the day after all my interviews. But I appreciate that. I appreciate the recognition, but it really falls, as I think I said before I went out on the track, 90% on Tony and his guys and everybody that gives me the car to go out there and be fast, and maybe 10% on me. All I have to do is think about going out there and being smooth and not letting the car bind up and running on that yellow line. So outside of that, though, I think it shows how well prepared Tony and everybody was, and how strong the Hendrick engines are, and how good the new Chevy SS is, because we've been fast since practice in January. And last year I was pretty decent in practice and came for the race, and it wasn't the same situation. But this year it continued, and I think that just shows how well prepared they all have been and how hard they've worked over the winter. It's really amazing how much effort is put into a qualifying car for Daytona for the 500, and really only the front row is what sticks for Sunday. So it's nice that all that hard work can pay off, and that we can give ourselves that opportunity to lead the pack down into the tri-oval for the green flag of the Daytona 500.
Thank you, Danica, and Tony Gibson. Congratulations. Certainly a big day for this race team and the entire Stewart Haas organization. But just talk a little bit about the performance of the number 10 team and the significance of getting this pole here today.
Well, it's a team effort, and like I told Danica, it's more than 10% driver. I was talking to David Green on the line out there when we were getting ready, about 5 cars away, and he's like, just remind her, hit her shifts. He said, because I've messed up here before. I've overshifted and messed the lap up. So it's more than 10%, because you can put a good product out there, but if you don't have the person to drive it and to put everything else together, it can really damage your day. So we just gave her a product that was really good, and she took it the rest of the way. So it's more than 10%. I promise you, it's 50-50. So I'm proud of her. I know there's a lot of pressure on her to come here and qualify well in the top 6 to lock us in. And I'm proud of her to carry that weight on her shoulders. And she didn't falter. She did everything right. She hit her marks. She steered it great and hit her marks on the shifts. And here we are. So, but it's a big deal for me, for sure, personally. I've been knocked off these front rows several times by just a little bit. So it's really nice to come here and get it done, especially for the Daytona 500, my hometown. And so it's a big deal.
This is your hometown?
Yeah, I was born in a hospital right across the street.
Well, heck, I didn't know that.
Yep.
So where's the party tonight?
I was born right over there.
Grandma making, your mom making us dinner tonight?
No, my mom and dad went to the tractor show. So.
Oh.
Yeah. And my wife took my grandmother shopping, so she's worn out.
Well, I'll make dinner if she'll make the monkey bread.
All right, that's a deal.
Deal?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. Take questions. We'll start with Reed, then we'll go to Ed, and then we'll go to Holly Kane. Go ahead, Reed.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. Danica, Jeff Gordon was just in here. He was saying that even, for a guy that's been in the sport for 20 years, it's hard sometimes not to go in protect mode when you're on the front row. You know you're locked in. You want to keep the car intact for the race. How do you maintain the aggressive attitude that you need to get through the duels, to get through practice, and get to the 500 with the car intact?
I have no idea. Tony, what am I supposed to do?
Well, don't put yourself in any bad position. But, in those deals, it is new for her. But, it's you don't want to take the chance of wrecking a car. Nobody does. But sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. But, she's going to have to put herself 3 wide, 4 wide in positions so we know what the car is going to do. There's no way around it. If we tear it up, we tear it up. We got another one on the truck. But you can't run scared all the time. So she's going to have to get out there. She's going to have to race. Definitely we're not going to put ourselves in very bad positions. If it looks like it's getting a little hairy and somewhere she wants to get out, then she can get out and go to the back and ride. We're in a position to do that. But, she needs to get out there just like every driver here. It's a new car. The Gen 6 car is new. The Chevy SS is really fast. Won last night, but even the guys that ran last night still don't have the answers. There's still a lot of things that are not answered, and so she's going to have to get out there and let us know what we got to do to make the car comfortable. Her 3 wide, 2 wide, whatever it takes.
Okay, let's go with Holly Kane, Lee Spencer. Oh, I'm sorry, Ed. I missed Ed. Ed, and then Holly.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Danica, another of your moments at the brink of history comes to mind here. May of 2005, you're quickest at practice. Everybody's anticipating you win the pole. You go down to 1. You catch a little gust of wind, have to catch it, and end up qualifying 4th. People were talking about gusts of winds today, but it didn't look like you kind of were you okay with that, or did you have to battle some gusts and puffs out there?
Everything seemed pretty smooth. I didn't notice anything that threw me offline or made me move. I mean, the car moves around through the corner just a little bit, and it's hard to keep a perfect arc without adding some wheel at some points in time, or taking it away so you don't hit the apron. But coming off of 2, I really felt like the car felt bound up, so I let it out a little bit more than I would have. So, if that was wind, I don't know, but that was something that felt a little bit different compared to yesterday. But I think ultimately at the end of the day too, I mean, everything happens for a reason. And in fact, I thought about Indy in 05, and I thought about how I was kind of the favorite to win the pole going in, and I thought, you know what, maybe I wasn't ready. Like maybe it would have just been hard on me. Maybe my life would have changed and been different because of that happening or whatever. And I just feel like I'm comfortable. I'm cool. I've been around for a long time now, and maybe now is the time.
And also launched off of that Indy of 05 with the Ricky stuff all this past week and this.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, but I mean, has that, because of all you've been through and the stage you've had, is the limelight really your comfort zone, or are you maybe at your greatest comfort zone when there's just a whole bunch of stuff like this going on around you?
Ed, you've been writing about me for a really long time, and I think that's a perceptive observation. I really do. I think that when pressure's on and when things are, when the spotlight's on, I feel like it ultimately ends up becoming some of my better moments and my better races and my better results. And so I don't know why that is. I'm grateful for it, because the opposite of that would be, I'm guessing I probably wouldn't be here today and I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. So I guess thanks, Mom and Dad. Thanks for the genetics. Thank you for all that. And I just understand that if you put the hard work in before you go out there, that you can have a little bit of peace and a little bit of peace of mind, knowing that you've done everything you can, and just let it happen.
Holly Kane, Lee Spencer, and Greg Engel.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. That was a lot of what my question was too. You've had so many significant historical things. I mean, you've really come through every time.
Makes you sound kind of old.
Well, okay. In your short career, how about
I'm
that?
getting there.
In your short career, you've had all of these different things, and you're about to embark here on a week where you're going to get a ton of attention again.
What am I going to have to do? Am I going to have to go places? I've told them I get Monday and Tuesday off. I need to recoup.
Do you really think you're going to get Monday and Tuesday off now?
I better.
Could you,
Mark,
Hey,
Joey, don't be scheming over there. I feel a scheme coming on. I feel a plane getting ready. I feel nervous.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good about that?
Yeah.
I'll be the young rookie. It's okay.
but could you speak about, you know, all of these various things? I mean, you really are racking up quite a few things that you've been able to accomplish and to do. If you could just speak about that.
I thank you, and I'm grateful for all those things. I feel like, first and foremost, I feel like I grew up with good values and good goals, and I was brought up to be the fastest driver, not the fastest girl, and so I feel like that was instilled in me from very young, and well, from the beginning, and then I feel like, you know, thriving in those moments where the pressure's on has also been a help for me, and I feel like I've also been very lucky in my career to be with good teams and have good people around me, and I don't think that any of it would have been possible without that. So, you know, for those reasons, I've been able to, you know, I've been lucky enough to make history and be the first woman to do many things. And, you know, I really just hope that I don't stop doing that. I mean, we have a lot more history to make, and we are excited to do it.
Go to Lee Spencer, and then to Greg Engel, and then to Dwight. Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. You talked a little bit about fate earlier. You know, what's meant to be is meant to be. A lot of times you're not in control of what happens, you know, particularly at Daytona. What is your game plan?
Jesus, take the wheel.
Like that.
Serious. Go ahead. Sorry.
So after you do your Hail Marys
It
and
is
your
Sunday.
Our Fathers, you
It
know.
is Sunday, and I didn't go to church today, so.
What is?
I'm sorry, Lee. I've totally just distracted the whole situation. Go ahead. So, fate.
Fate. You know, what is the game plan then? Since, you know, sometimes you really just don't control your destiny here. I mean, Gibson could.
And I think that's part of the lure of the Daytona 500 and races like this, is that, you know, you get a little, there's a lot of people that get a little taste of success or potentially getting to victory lane. And, you know, that's what keeps us coming back for more. I always felt like that was what was special about Indy, is that there are so many pit stops and there's so much that can happen, and there's so many ways for it to play out, that there's a lot of drivers that taste victory, and they don't get there. So it's, you just have a love for it, and not to mention, of course, that it's the biggest race of the year. So that's you know, that's you just. It got a little crazy, but you know, I mean, I think that I expected it to be maybe even more crazy. It didn't seem like the cars got unhooked as easy. That was a nice save by Tony, though. So that's what I remember about last night. Unfortunately, there was a little accordion effect, but we're going to do everything we can. I understand my position. I have a good car. Tony's given me a good car. I'm going to do my best to keep it clean, keep it out of trouble, and get a feel for the traffic throughout the day, and hopefully put myself in a position-wise and knowledge-wise, to be able to do a good job and have a chance to bring it home where it started at the end of Sunday. But I have a lot to learn too. I understand that. I mean, I've got, you know, Jeff Gordon starting next to me, and I've got, oh my God, a herd of them behind me. So, you know, I'm a rookie, and I am going to be learning as much as I can for 499. Well, however, I don't know, maybe until the last 10 laps. I'm not sure. When do you implement your plan? I'm not sure. It depends on where you are. So hopefully at the end of 500, we're rolling and we have a chance.
We'll go to Greg, and then to Bob Pockris.
Greg Engel, Examiner.com. To kind of follow up with what Holly said, has the significance of what you did, which is make history, has that really sunk in yet? And what kind of message do you think that you would like that to be to young racers, young female racers coming up? And as a follow up, what are you fixing for dinner?
I'm not fixing anything tonight. In fact, I'm probably going to have some beers, and I'm probably going to grab. I think somebody's making me a sandwich. I haven't ate since breakfast. We went to Cracker Barrel, and I'm glad I ate the bacon because it's probably what's keeping me alive right now. And and the pole position. I mean, that kind of gives me a little extra energy too. But I need a sandwich really bad. So I don't know. I guess I'm getting close to dinner time anyway, so I guess I skipped lunch. It's like a free diet. Pole position was like a free diet today. What was your first part of your question? That one was much more fun to answer.
What kind of message do you want to try and send to young racers? And as the significance of what you've done, the first woman in NASCAR history to do this, what kind of message, has that significance sunk in?
Well, I love to, I've had the experience with mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, listening to them say that the reason why they're here as a family today is because of me out there that whether it brings the girls out, the guys out, whatever it is, I don't care. But I mean, that's nice to hear. It's also nice to hear, families talk about the fact that a little girl might say, but mommy or daddy, that's a girl out there, and then they can have the conversation with their kid about the fact that you can do anything you want, and being different does not by any means not allow you to follow your dreams. So I love to think that conversation happens in households because of something that I'm doing.
To Bob Pockrass, and then to Mike Vega.
Bob Packer, Sporting News. For both of you, where does this rank among your career accomplishments?
Pretty high up. My wife asked me that same question. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to win a lot of races in the Daytona 500 and Indy Brickyard 400 and some championships and stuff. But this is really high for me because it's just I feel like. For some reason, we're the underdogs, and so it's like when we won a championship with Kawicki, we went into that race thinking, nobody gave us a shot. So I came in down here thinking we were the underdogs, and then when we left testing down here, I knew we had a shot, but you still never know. I told Danica, we bring back the same car. I'm like, no, and I could tell I could tell she was a little nervous that I told her that, and I was a little nervous too. You never know, but. To come back here and pick up where we left off testing, and then to run good yesterday, you still have that little bit of nervousness of can you repeat what you ran yesterday in practice after you go through the room of doom and all that stuff. So
I love the room of doom. I've never heard it referred to it as that tech.
Yeah, so to get all that accomplished and come down here and it means a lot to me. It's a tremendous feeling right now, and I'm happy for my team. I'm happy for Danica, and we talked after all this. I told her, when we know there's going to be low points, and but the key to success for us is to enjoy the highs and pat each other on the back and enjoy it, and then when we hit our lows, pick each other up and get to the next one. So. That's our plan. So right now we're enjoying this, and it's real big for me. I've accomplished a lot of things, but this ranks up there in the top 2 or 3.
Big accomplishment to be a part of for me. It's very much to be a part of because it's not, and it's so much that goes into it than just the driver. So as I told Tony, I said. I don't care what you say. I'm going to keep pounding this one home. I said that, you built a fast car, and I'm just lucky that I got to drive it. So we're going to enjoy this pole, and we're going to get to enjoy it for a week. So, but it definitely ranks very high.
We got about 3 questions left because she's got a sat time she's got to hit. We'll go Mike Vega, Nate Ryan, George Diaz.
I hope they carved out 5 minutes for my sandwich.
I'll be happy to make you one, Danica.
That's why I buffered into 5 minutes.
I'll take them all. I mean, honestly,
Mike.
When I get food, I just keep it and store it. I'm like a hoarder with food.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Vega, Boston Globe, Danica. You're such a cool customer under pressure, and yet you admittedly had some nerves. Where did they stem from today? And second part, you've blazed so many trails in motorsports, in open wheel, becoming the first woman to lead a lap at the 500 at Indianapolis and winning at Motegi. How does this compare to, those accomplishments?
I was literally just listening to you and going, nerves. How do I have, I'm trying to remember your questions. Okay, so I'm going to have to ask you, I have the second one quickly again. But, nerves today were really just about that I feel more nervous when I know that there's more on the line, and I knew that we had a good enough car to qualify very well or on the pole today. So for me, it was about just don't make a stupid little mistake. Don't hit the apron. Don't use too much road. Don't, make sure you all the way up against the wall around the outside. Just little things like that, if we weren't in contention, you wouldn't think about it as much, but knowing that it can come down to 100th is, a driver can make that difference. And that's where you hope that you've done everything right. So that was my nerves, and I think something about significance to this is a pretty big stage, so there's a lot of people that benefit from this, and a lot of people, see it, and that to me is, I feel like there's a lot of people that win more so than ever with this one, as far as the team, Tony, GoDaddy, Hendrick, Chevy. And there's a lot of people that benefit from this because of the big platform that it is. It's not just like the high point of my name or what I've done. There's going to be a whole story here. So it's a cool day. I've been lucky enough and very blessed in my career to have had a lot of really, really cool days, and a lot of things that in 20 years when I got to be careful here. And I don't know, a really long time, can reflect on and be very grateful. I was going to say when I'm old and decrepit, but that's why I had to be careful what, number I put on it. But I think this sport's going to age me pretty fast. Pretty sure my dad said he was going to show up with a lot more gray hairs after qualifying was over with. And I can relate. I think my hairstylist the other day said he saw one, so I cried a little.
Nate Ryan in with George Diaz. Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Danica, you've obviously seen a lot in your career, so this might be hard to answer, but this was obviously a big deal with the way it was received after you were on the pole. You had Mike Helton come up and congratulate you. I guess Jeff Gordon's daughter wanted a photo. Is there one? I know you tend to downplay the significance of it's racer first, woman second, but was there a moment that felt particularly surreal to you that sort of maybe had it really sink in that, wow, this is happening, this is pretty important?
I think some of the coolest feeling was just being able to, go into qualifying. I love it when people put me on their radar. I do. I think it's good. It's a confidence boost when people are saying that, I heard Mr. Childress say that, he thought I was the one to lose the pole. I mean, when people put you on their radar, that feels good to me. So I liked that after practice in January, and I liked that after yesterday in practice that people were saying that I was the one that could go out there and get the pole. I mean, that to me was some of the coolest feelings. For me, today was about executing and doing everything right and just, having a clean run. So, I don't know, that's kind of what feels best to me. It was a little too nervous to sit on the pole throughout the whole thing. I mean, watching all those cars, that's nerve-wracking. Especially on an empty stomach. Especially on an empty stomach, exactly. And what did I do? I decided to go work out. I mean, really?
Final question, George.
Really, I'm old enough to know better.
Go ahead, George, all the way in the back.
All right, hopefully this will be quick and you can go get your sandwich or whatever. George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. After 3 days of the romance talk, is it refreshing or does it matter at all to you that now the reset button gets hit and everybody is now going to be talking about you, the racer and the driver?
Well, I definitely think that it's good for the team and it's good for GoDaddy. I mean that's and it's good for NASCAR. It's good for the race itself. When they mention who's on the pole, they're going to say when the race is. So that's good for the whole sport in general. I don't mind answering questions about the other stuff, but I get that it's not about racing, and it's nice to change the tone of the questions because of what's going on the track. That is a really good sign, and I like that.
Okay, I left you some time for a sandwich.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Danica Patrick, number 10, GoDaddy Chevrolet, and Tony Gibson. Good luck the rest of the time here at Speed Weeks. Thank you.
I know, right? I've been chugging Coke Zero all day.
Also, for any media that would like to catch up with Robin Pemberton, ask him any questions. Robin will be down at the Sprint Cup hauler here about 10 minutes. Robin Pemberton, anybody wants to ask him any questions, he'll be down at the Sprint Cup hauler in about 10 minutes. Vice President of Competition, Robin Pemberton. Thank you.